In this video, we're going to talk about 5 things and traits that all good players do that you could implement into your golf swing and immediately play more consistent golf. So I'm Jonathan Chown with JChownGolf. Let's dive right into it. Now, the first thing here is actually why you see so many good players hit the ball, 1, really long, and 2, really straight, but it doesn't look like they're putting any effort into it at all. But the reason why that is because they are getting a nice full complete turn, and this is by far one of the things I see so many amateur golfers really struggle with. I see amateur golfers get up to the top of their swing, 1, either not completing the range of motion that they can turn, or they're just swinging up the arms and then rushing their downswing because of that. So there's massive amount of benefits from really getting this good full turn. If I'm getting a nice big full turn, I'm going to get my hands naturally deeper around my body, which means then I'll be more inclined to swing on a slight in-to-out path. The more depth to my hands at the top of the backswing, the more the club is going to fall on path in the downswing. 2, the obvious one, more turn we get, the more potential club head speed we're going to get because we're coiling up more. And as well, this really helps with golfers who struggle with rushing the downswing. So if I get up to the top of my turn here, nice full complete turn, I generally just turn my body more. Now I've got more time to unwind my body and turn it back towards the target and shift. More time I've got to do that transition, the more kind of unrushed and in sequence it's going to be. That's how these good players really hit those long straight shots that doesn't look like they're even trying to hit it at all. So by far my favorite drill to really target this and get that nice full turn is called the freezer drill, or it's also called the stop at the top drill. So what we do, we get a nice big completed turn where we feel like we can really turn our body as much, and really if you feel like you can only turn your upper body so much, really then turn your hips and you'll find a bigger turn from that. What we do, we get up to that top and we stop. We stop there for a second and then we go, swing through again. So you might have seen someone like Tiger Woods, of course, do this drill back in the early 2000s. Right, going to swing up to the top. I'm going to pause for a second, getting that nice big turn, and then hit the ball from there. So the next point here, and this is all about matching up your grip with the appropriate wrist angle. This is the thing that a lot of good players do. You'll see good players with many different types of grips, a strong, a weak, or a standard grip, but when they're good players, they all make them work. And that's because you don't need a perfectly standard grip anymore. You just need to match it up with the wrist angle. And a lot of amateur golfers, or a lot of, let's say, poorer ability golfers have no idea about this. So let's say I've got a standard grip here. For a standard grip, when I'm looking down, so we're talking about our left hand here, so my lead hand. When I'm looking down here and I'm seeing 2.5 knuckles, will be a very standard lead hand grip. So for me to have a square club face in my golf swing, so this is all about your club face being square at this point. When it's due to grip and wrist angles, we're talking about club face control. So for me to have a square club face throughout my golf swing, I need a flat left wrist here. So for me to achieve a square club face, a flat left wrist matches up with a neutral grip. So if I get up to the top of the swing with that neutral grip and I cup it, that club face is going to open, and then if I bow it quite a lot, the club face will close. So you can see you have to have the appropriate wrist angle. Let's say we're weak, for example, so I'm looking down and I'm seeing 1.5 knuckles to 1 knuckles in that lead hand. Get up to the top of my swing. For a square face now, I need to bow it. I need to have a bowed left wrist, and I need to maintain that bow in the downswing to keep it square. But let's say if I had a flat left wrist with a weak grip, club face will be open. And then if I go for a big cup hit with, a weak grip, that club face is going to massively open. So again, we need to make sure we've got the right wrist angle. But then again, let's say I've got a strong grip now. So now I'm a golfer who plays with 4 knuckles when they look down at their lead hand. From here, to make a square club face, I need to have a cupped left wrist at the top of my golf swing now. So I need to cup that left wrist. But let's say if I went up to the top of the backswing and I had a flat left wrist, the club face is going to be too close with that strong grip. And then again, God, if I bow it with a strong grip, that ball's going to hook off the planet in no time. So let's get into a drill here we can do for all these different types of wrist angles to match them up. And as well, for a more in-depth video, I'll put a card up there for that, because we can really get in depth with this, and it's good to watch that to really understand this problem properly. So let's say I'm doing my standard grip. I'm a standard grip golfer with my lead hand. I'm going to get a tee here with my glove, and I'm going to put this tee on the front side of my grip or my glove here, so really where the glove logo side is. Now for me to maintain this flat left wrist, I want to swing in my backswing and prevent this tee from, 1, either separating from my forearm or digging into my forearm. I want to keep it nicely flat there. If I can keep this tee just resting on my forearm here with my neutral grip, I'll have a better club face. So for the weak grip, we do the same thing. We have the tee in the front side of our glove. But now, just like we said with the standard grip, we don't want it either digging in or separating. But with the weak grip, we want it separating at the top. We want to have a little gap there because that creates the bow. We can't have it resting, otherwise the club face will be open. And then we certainly can't have it digging into our forearm because that will really open up the club face. So we want the tee to separate from our forearm. Again, swing up, maintain it through the downswing, and off we go. So for the strong grip, we change it around again. Instead of having it on the front side of our glove, we put it on the underside here. So you can put it where it's on the underside of my forearm, it's the underside of the glove. So what we want to do here with our strong grip, we want to again be able to, there's a little gap that will form here between the tee and my forearm. I want to maintain that through my golf swing, because if I maintain that little gap between the tee and the forearm, I'm going to have that nice cupped left wrist there, which matches up a strong grip nicely. Maintain it throughout the swing, and there we go. We've got our nice wrist angle that matches up with our grip. So if you want a square club face in your golf swing, it's vital that you know these and you apply it properly to your swing. So the third point here, and this is what all good players do, and everyone who strikes the ball nicely does this one move, and that is, as you're going into your downswing, shifting your weight onto your left side, shifting your pressure onto your lead side there. Because what this does, when we shift our pressure onto our lead side, that will get us so we're hitting ball than turf, because the better we shift, the more forward we shift, the more forward we're putting the lowest point of our arc here. So the lowest point that I'm going to be reaching the ground is going to be after the ball if I shift forward. Now what a lot of bad golfers will be doing, they'll be hanging back on their back leg trying to help the ball up in the air, and you can see immediately that gets me, so I'm striking way behind the golf ball, or I'll be bottoming out early and then the club will be raising up because my low point has gone behind the golf ball. If I shift forward, the low point's going to be in front of the ball here, so we've got to get that weight forward. So my absolute favorite drill for this is called the ball forward drill. Now the ball forward drill forces your body to move forward and shift without you really thinking about it. You just trying to make contact with the ball, the body shifts forward. Amazing drill this is. So what you do, you set up to the golf ball like normal, and then what you do, so I've only got 9 out here, so it's going to be round about the middle of my stance, and then I put the ball and then roll it so it's at the front of my stance, really just so it's on the inside of my lead foot there. But what I do is I put the club back out the middle. Now all I need to do here to hit this golf ball is I need to shift forward to hit it. But here's the thing, when I've got this massive gap between ball and club, just to hit that golf ball, my body will naturally shift to do it. If you're trying to make good contact, your brain will figure out what it's got to do to be able to hit that golf ball. Only way it can do it is shifting its weight. If you hang back here, you're not going to make contact with the ball one bit. So it's an absolute brilliant drill. So we get that ball forward in our stance, put the club out the middle, and now all we want to do is we just want to make contact with the ball. The body's going to shift. So the fourth point here, and this is really a massive trait in really good players, but this will really help straighten out your slice shot. So where we see, you might notice quite a lot of good players, they might always hit a little draw shot, or if they do hit a fade shot, it's very minimal. But why they're able to do that is because they separate their lower body very, very well in transition. So their lower body naturally rotates first and shifts first. Now upper body is a little bit behind in its rotation compared to lower body. What that does, that gets the club moving on a better path. What we see a lot of bad golfers do, they'll be getting to the top of their golf swing and then they'll be rotating the upper body way too fast in transition. They'll be rotating their upper body at a faster rate than their lower body, and that club will naturally be thrown over the top. We see good players get up to the top of their swing, lower body will swivel and shift, and then their upper body turns and it's a little bit behind the rotation of the lower body. So a brilliant drill to do with this is without a golf club. So I'll put that golf club here. All we need is ourselves. That's all we need. Now I'm going to set up to a golf ball like in a kind of golfing position here, but my arms are just hanging. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to now get my left arm and I'm going to pin it across my chest here. So across my shoulder line, I'm going to turn up to the top of my backswing. And now, because I am pinning my left arm to the top of my chest here, my shoulder line, I'm pinning it back with my right. Now I'm preventing what my upper body can do. So for someone who really throws the upper body over at sequence, they don't separate the lower body, this is brilliant. All you need to do from here, now separate that lower body and rotate the hips. That's all we need to do. Get that weight to that left side and rotate those hips. That's going to be training you to get in a good sequence. Now, if you're someone who has a resistance band relying around the house as well, get it around an upright, just like this. This is my favorite for this. Get up to the top of the backswing, getting a spot to where we're kind of having a makeshift top of the backswing again. And now, if I try to move that upper body, I can't do it because there's too much resistance here and the net will probably fall down if I do it too much. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to separate that lower body. You can see how that's going to give me that separation in the downswing, and that's going to be working on path better. So do a bunch of those and then get a golf club in your hand and feel the exact same thing. Now the fifth and final point here, and this really doesn't really have too much swing technique in its core like all the others do. It is not an in-swing thing, but it can very much affect your swing massively, and that is your alignment. Good players are always focusing and really obsessing about lining up properly, but so many amateur golfers get up to that golf ball out in the golf course and they're just trying to aim in the vicinity of where they're aiming. They're not being specific enough. So ultimately, I mean, this is almost every single course lesson I've ever given, is we'll say, where are you aiming on this shot? And they'll be going, oh, I'm just trying to aim down the left-hand side, play a little fade down there. Okay. And then what you actually see them do, you will see their body completely aiming 50 yards right of where they're wanting to go. So what does their swing have to do to hit that shot that starts left and curve round? One, their club face has to be very shut to where they're lining up, but two, boom, there goes that massive over the top swing to create that shot. They'll think, oh yeah, that ball's done what I wanted to do, but they've just ingrained a extremely bad swing to get the ball to there. So, and you'll see a lot of the times they'll be aiming way offline and the ball goes straight on their line and go, oh, I've either pulled it or pushed it, you know, depending on your line. It's just where you're lining up, such a common thing. So ultimately on the range, how we practice that, I know a lot of you are going to be quite good at this, quite disciplined, but if you're not, really get on this. Get an alignment stick and practice good alignment. And that's the thing, even though we've got our, you know, our mats that we're hitting off, whether if it's at, even at home you can do this, you know, if it's at home or if it's at, you know, the driving range, but it's still not lining us up good enough. So let's say driving range, for example, grab an alignment stick, put the alignment stick of where you're wanting to line up with, and boom, your feet are in a good spot every time. Takes no effort at all. You could have a club, put the club on the ground, do the same thing even if you don't have an alignment stick. Get comfortable with feeling like, let's say this is a driving range, I'm aiming at a 150 yard marker, and think, oh okay, this is aiming at the 150 yard marker, I'm doing okay, this is what good alignment feels like. And then, you know, I know that if I'm on the driving range and hitting shots, and let's say that one hooks, for example, then I know it's me, it's not my alignment. It's really me and my golf swing that's doing it. It's not actually my alignment that's causing that. Then we're out in the golf course, guys. Really make sure you're picking a nice spot that's just a few yards in front of your golf ball, maybe even a few inches. So let's say I'm looking down a target that's 200 yards away. I'm not going to be trying to aim my whole body up looking at that 200 yard marker, because it's extremely hard to aim at something that's 200 yards away, for example. It's way easier to think, yep, there's my 200 yard target. Right, okay. Let's pick a spot that's in front of my golf ball that could be, you know, a couple yards, or it could be a few inches in front, that's aiming in line with that. Then you put your club down, aim in line with that, making sure your club's aiming at it good, then parallel line your feet and your hips, and then you look up to your target. You've been looking here, for example, looking at your kind of what's called an intermediate target. You're not looking down, you know, 200 to 250 yards down the fairway. You're just setting up, aiming with this thing that's right in front of your golf ball, setting your feet and your shoulders parallel depending on your shot shape, and again hitting a nice shot down there. It's such a massive thing that so many people neglect, but get your alignment right. All good players focus on their alignment intently. So those 5 things that we've just addressed that good players do in general that you can apply to your swing, and practically everyone can apply these into your golf swing and really benefit from them massively, even if it's just from a knowledge standpoint. You don't have to do every drill on here, but even if it's one just for the old memory bank for the golfing IQ, just know those and it's going to help you big time. So if you like this video, of course, click that like button. If you want more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video. So make sure these are nicely in place and you can play good golf just like the good golfer.